Picture this. You're in a leadership meeting. You propose a strategy to solve a critical business problem. The room goes quiet. You get a few polite nods. Then 5 minutes later, your white colleague, let's call him John, he repeats your exact idea. And suddenly, everybody's engaged. Oh, brilliant, John. Your boss is taking notes and John gets the project. Welcome to the Black tax. If you're a Black woman working in corporate America, or frankly in any global organization, you're paying this tax whether you realize it or not. And here's what nobody is telling you. You didn't create this system, and you don't have to fix it to succeed either. I'm Dr. Nicole Bryan, and today we're breaking down what the Black tax actually costs, where it comes from, and most importantly, how to navigate it without becoming its victim or burning yourself out trying to fix racism. Let's talk about it. The Black tax is the invisible labor, the emotional toll, and career barriers that Black professionals face in predominantly white or white-led organizations. It shows up in a couple of different ways. It shows up as code switching your language, your tone, and personality to make other people feel comfortable. It shows up as being asked or expected to educate non-Black colleagues about Black culture, our language, our experiences. It shows up as having to prove yourself twice, 3, 4 times as hard just to be seen as half as competent. And it shows up as hypervigilance, monitoring your every word, gesture, and facial expression. And here's what people don't talk about. This isn't just an American problem. I worked at Citibank, Coca-Cola, Colgate-Palmolive. These are global brands with offices in predominantly Black countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya. And guess what? Even there, expat leadership is often white or European. Black professionals in their own countries are navigating white corporate norms, translating their culture, and having to shrink themselves. Now let's look at the data around this. Black professionals make up 13% of the United States workforce, but they hold less than 4% of executive roles. Black women earn 63 cents of every dollar a white man earns, even with higher education. Black workers are more likely to have a college degree than white workers in the same exact role, but they are less likely to be promoted. The Black tax, my friend, is very real, and it is expensive. So where does this come from? Stereotypes. Tropes that have been embedded in media, the news, movies, television, and social narratives for centuries. Let me name 4 that show up constantly in professional spaces. The first one is the angry Black woman. Your assertiveness is read as aggression. Your confidence is having an attitude. You set a boundary, you're determined to be difficult. Meanwhile, your white colleagues who use the same tone are called passionate and driven. The second stereotype is the sassy, loud Black friend. So your humor, your personality, your warmth, it's all weaponized against you. You're entertaining as long as you stay in your lane. But the moment you want a seat at the decision-making table, suddenly you're too much. The third stereotype is that you are not a culture fit. Now, this one is insidious. Blackness itself, our hair, our speech, our presence, is coded as unprofessional. You didn't get the job because you're not a culture fit. Passed over for promotion, not a culture fit. Translation, you are too Black for us. And the fourth stereotype is the magical Negro. You're expected to fix problems, mentor everyone, lead the diversity initiative, educate your colleagues on racism, all without credit, without compensation, or without promotion. You're magical when it's convenient, but you're invisible when it counts. These stereotypes don't just live in movies. They live in your performance reviews, in who gets promoted and who gets heard. And here's the truth. They show up at work because they show up in the world. Now, let me be very clear about something. Racism is not a workplace problem. It is a global problem. It is a systemic problem. If racism exists in society, which it does, it exists in your workplace. Your corporate office is not a magical bubble protected from the biases of the broader world. Expecting your workplace to be different is a little bit naive, and honestly, it's an impossible ask. Now, here's where I'm going to challenge you. you also don't have to fix it. Now, I know many of us, myself included, have felt this weight. Like we're responsible for educating, for diversifying, for making white colleagues get it. We carry the burden of being the only one, the first one, the one who has to represent all Black people. Stop. You can operate inside a system without becoming a victim to it. You can be successful without taking on the entire system, or you can choose to challenge it. Neither choice is right or wrong, and you should not feel guilty about the choice that you make. But let me also say this, whether you faced overt racism or not, it has impacted you. Structural racism is infrastructure. It's the foundation. Even if you've never been called a slur, even if you've never been explicitly denied a promotion because of your race, the system has shaped your experience. Direct or indirect, it is very, very real. So what do you do about it? You navigate strategically. You protect your peace and you thrive, but you do it on your own terms. Here are 7 strategies that I use and that I teach my clients to navigate the Black tax without sacrificing your sanity or your career. The first one is stop explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone your story. You don't owe them cultural education unless you choose to offer it. Your Blackness is not a teaching moment. The second strategy is to build strategic alliances. Find allies, white, Black, other people of color, who will amplify your voice when you're not in the room. These aren't your friends. These aren't your BFFs. These are strategic relationships that create advocacy for you. The third strategy is to name it when you feel safe. Now, sometimes you can call it out. Try this. I notice my ideas get more traction when John repeats them. Can we talk about that? It's calm, it's direct, and it's undeniable, but only when it's safe. You know your environment, so protect yourself first. The fourth strategy is to pick your battles. Not every microaggression deserves your energy. Some days you let it slide. Some days you address it, but you get to choose. Conserve your power for the battles that actually matter. The fifth strategy is to protect your peace. Therapy, boundaries, rest. These are not luxuries for Black people in corporate. They are resistance. You cannot dismantle a system while running on empty. So rest is absolutely strategic. The sixth strategy is to lead authentically. You don't have to shrink to succeed. You don't have to erase your Blackness to be professional. The right environments will value you as you are. And if they don't, that's data for you. And the seventh strategy is to know when to leave. Sometimes the Black tax is too high. Sometimes the cost of staying emotionally, mentally, spiritually is not worth the paycheck or the title. And it's okay to leave. That is not failure. That is self-preservation. Here's what I want you to walk away with. The Black tax is real. You are not imagining it. You didn't create this system. You didn't ask for these stereotypes. You don't owe anyone your labor, your education, or your emotional energy to fix racism. But you can navigate it strategically, authentically, and successfully. Now, whether you choose to stay and thrive, whether you choose to stay and challenge, or whether you choose to leave and build elsewhere, your choice is valid. You are not a victim here, and you are not powerless. What you are is a Black professional navigating a system that was not necessarily built for you, and you can still win in it. Now, drop a heart in the comments if this resonated with you. And tell me, what's one way the Black tax has shown up in your career? I read every single one of the comments. And if you're ready to stop carrying this weight alone, subscribe and hit that bell. I drop new videos every Thursday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, leadership is life, and your life, your career, deserves to be lived on your terms. I'll see you next week.